Experience the life of Jesus in this day he has created and allowed you to exist in. You are listening to episode 1 with my guest Summerlin Van Dyke, and together we gather.
Shut up and sit down.
Hey, welcome to In Process, where we gather to remind one another what Jesus has done, what Jesus is doing, and what Jesus will do. People invest in what they believe in, so show us if you believe in what we're doing by clicking that thumbs up. Gather with us regularly by clicking that subscribe button. Enjoy. I know what I was talking about.
We are recording right now. Go ahead and say something.
You know how Lana was talking about doing different funny things for the podcast?
Yeah.
If you have podcasts earlier than 10 a.m., everyone should be in a sweatshirt and sweatpants.
Yeah. Is that how you're going to talk the whole time?
Normally
you talk with more enthusiasm.
Like this, probably. Is probably how I would talk.
Like normally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little sleepy, but...
Yeah. I feel like you're a little sleepy. Right. I'm not going to have you do it again. No, I'm not going to have you do it again because it's hard to work with sound.
Yeah.
But pop.
Yeah.
Like as quick as loud, snappy as possible. Snappy. Yeah. So, hello everyone. We no. Let me get it started again.
You should also just
I gotta work this out at some point.
Yeah, and when you do it, if you're gonna say hello everyone, I like that. That's awesome. Yeah. Just say it. You tend to go hello everyone.
Yeah.
You just gotta go hello everyone.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. So it's your pattern.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Hello, everyone. We gather today. Summer and this is my guest, Summer Lynn Van Dyke.
Hello.
And I'm Chris Van Dyke, and we gather to do this podcast that we're calling Straight Up Now Tell Me, or In Process. I'm not sure yet. And so we're still in the mix. This is maybe our first podcast.
Those are both sweet names.
Yeah.
I'm into both of those.
Yeah. Which one do you like better?
I kind of like In Process.
I know. I kind of do too. It's a little quicker, faster.
Mm-hmm. I like the other one for its punch better, but
I
like In Process for its.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sounds.
Me too. I'm actually gonna set a little alarm because we really got to get rolling. In 15 minutes, so I'm just gonna set a timer. Oops. Yeah, here we go. And it looks like we're recording okay, so that's good.
Yeah.
How are you today?
I'm well because Jesus is ruling and reigning, but other than that, I'm not feeling awesome. But
yeah. Why?
Just because I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, and I threw up for the first time in 3 or 4 months.
Was that psychologically challenging?
Yes, very.
Tell us a little bit why.
The progress I felt like I had been making towards my body being ready to go into labor was awesome, and then all of a sudden the last 3 days it's been super challenging to do anything physical. My eating pattern has been super weird. Nothing is helping like it normally does. Ice water has been the only thing that's been still helping.
Yeah.
Everything else is just.
So that's you're going through a bit of a psychological test.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Is that how you see it?
Yeah.
Have you even pause to reflect outside of it like that, or have you been just trying to work through it and fix it?
Well, last night was when I was okay, there's really something going on. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, before, the last few days, it's been oh, something's off, but maybe I just have a cold, or I'm getting a little sick from other people that have been sick. But last night I was no, there's I cannot sleep. I wasn't on my phone or
Yeah, and I might have you say this again because I'm not sure if we're going to use this podcast or not.
Yeah.
But why don't you go ahead and say you weren't sure if your body was psychologically ready, physically ready for labor because you're pregnant.
Yeah.
But also, the beginning of your pregnancy, and this gets into a little bit your story, and I'm going to want to probably start off with that, but maybe we'll start off with this first, and just a little teaser. That's more to come. We'll go through Summer's story, how she got to this chair today, from birth to here, and more specifically, what she was choosing and believing, and then how God really changed her mindset and her belief, really. Yeah, and so like, just in a quick summary, how would you describe the first month? Because you're how far into your pregnancy?
I'm 30, almost 33 weeks, which is technically 7.5
out of
months.
How many weeks?
Out of 40.
For us people who,
Yeah, that's why I was trying to give months, because most people know 9 months.
So you're 33 weeks out of 40 weeks?
Yeah.
There's only 7 weeks left?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, potentially. I mean, I could go over. 42 is like pretty much the most you'll ever go over, but 42.
Yeah.
A couple days maybe.
Yeah.
Past that, like, no one's pregnant forever, so.
So I will be an Opa. That's what I'm going to refer. That's what I decided. I'm an Opa. Grandpa's cool too. I mean, respect, right? But I dig Opa more, doing my own thing.
I'm sure.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
That'll be an easier first.
I think so too,
word.
Opa. Especially kids. If she's anything like a little friend of ours, who is definitely strong on O's. Yeah. And Midwestern
Opa.
Opa. Anyway, so you're in week 33, and how many weeks in when you discovered you were pregnant?
I think I was right before. I don't totally remember, because it was hard to, I didn't like officially like talk to people right away, and so I found out, I think, right before my 6th week. So I found out in my 5th week of pregnancy. So I found out like really soon, like into the pregnancy.
Sure.
That's a pretty quick amount of time.
And then
to find out
something kind of like took a dramatic turn.
Yeah. So as soon as I found out, I would say like maybe 3 or 4 days after, not even, maybe even 2, I just started getting incredibly sick, like nauseous. I started getting severe morning sickness, as they call it, but it was just very extreme nausea, which isn't totally uncommon, like especially in the beginning, like right away. It's pretty common to like be very nauseous and throw up a few times and like all of this stuff. But immediately I was just not keeping food down, not keeping water down. Like it was like one day I kept everything down. I was eating normally. I was just like kind of nauseous, and the next day I was like super nauseous, couldn't keep anything down. And that continued. I believe I was actually officially in my 6th week at that point, and that continued all the way up until about my 14th week of pregnancy. And it was I was able to keep some food and water down. Often after I went in and got fluids, I was able to keep a little more food down, not necessarily water. Water is never super easy to keep down. And then at about 14 weeks, it just like one day was like, oh, I'm not nauseous anymore. I'm gonna eat and walk around and drink
so
water.
Again, for those of us who either don't get pregnant or don't understand pregnancy or whatever, so 8 weeks, what did that look like? Like extreme nauseous?
Nausea. So at first, like, and recalling it, like sometimes I don't remember it as well. It felt kind of like it was so smashed all into one period of time that like, and each day had like no significance for my brain to like really remember, that it was kind of hard to keep track of like the phases I went through. But really the first phase was just like nothing, couldn't keep anything down. And then I came back here to Eau Claire from school because I was still up in school in Minnesota when I found I was pregnant and got sick. So then I came back to Eau Claire and I had to go in for fluids. And then after I went in for fluids, I was like, oh, maybe I'll be better. Like, I was eating, like, real food, like proteins, like meats, like harder to digest foods. And then after that, all of a sudden, it just, like, slowly decreased. And even when I got fluids, it was, like, okay. But then it would just keep going downhill. So I was pretty much bedridden, nauseous every day, all day, throwing up anything that I took down, except for like if I ate like a Cheerio at a time or something, or like a really small sips of water I could do, and those would stay down.
Yeah, and not to be over dramatic, but it was so extreme that literally like a Cheerio, like no joke, like a Cheerio. Like there was like a week where you maybe had a couple apple slices, some Cheerios,
Mm-hmm.
like some Cheerios.
Yeah.
Not like some bowls of Cheerios, like some Cheerios.
Yeah.
Right? And so like
Yeah, I could usually get about a handful of Cheerios down a day. That was like how.
And we were
measured.
down to at some period, like some days, 4 to 8 ounces of water a day.
Yeah. I was just trying to stay the most hydrated I could, and I knew they gave me a certain ounce of water that I needed to drink a day in order to basically not like die of dehydration. And I can't remember what that was, but I think it was around 8 ounces. And usually most days I was able to make it to about 8 ounces of water.
Yeah, and just like our family, part of our belief is we're non-interventionists in all senses of the word, body, political stuff, like whatever, just in general. We're not like pacifists, but like maybe we are, but anyway. So other than emergency intervention, so we do believe that sometimes there's a time to intervene, but it got so bad where I literally was asking God if she was gonna die. As I was, because like there was 3 days where this had been going on for about a week, about 2 weeks. This was in the second week, where we hadn't gotten fluids yet for you. We hadn't gone and had an IV, and had you intravenously getting fluid, but it grabbed my attention. You're laying there, and like, just again, not to be extreme, but like even people moving around in her room would sometimes set her off and cause her to throw up. And so it's definitely not sickness. Yeah. It's definitely the body's response. Who knows why? God knows why.
So the other question that like a lot of people ask immediately when I tell them that I got that sick is like, was the baby okay? And this is the most incredible thing I think about the whole situation is the baby was 100% fine, healthy, strong, like
I love it.
Like just doing awesome. Because we made sure we did an ultrasound at 10 weeks, which isn't totally common, but just because I was so sick, we were like, we should probably do an ultrasound. And so checked, saw if the baby was okay, and God created them so they literally, if the mother isn't getting nutrition, whatever nutrition she still has left goes to the baby.
Like literally from her own body, even.
So like if
the body will break down.
Yeah. So like if
and feed the child.
Baby's pulling stuff from obviously my fat first, but that was gone a pretty short period of time. Yeah. Then muscle, bone, like whatever is left of my body to pull nutrition from, that's what the baby did. And totally healthy the entire time, which is incredible. Now if I would have gone past the point I did, I would have started, there probably would have been some concern, obviously, because I was very quickly running out of any left over nutrition. And so
well, the first so your 14th week, right, what you got pregnant, and you, I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but you weighed about...
Oh, yeah. So when I got pregnant, I weighed about like 154.
Yeah.
And my smallest weight I ended up being was 118.
Yeah, 118.
Yeah.
And as the baby is growing.
Right. So as I was gaining, and obviously the baby weight at that time was not a lot, but it was like it added weight to my body. Yeah. So
incredible. The whole thing is incredible. And so I asked all that. We went through all that just to say it. Now you had 3 days. So you've been progressing. Like it was difficult for you to even walk around the block or walk outside really at all. Walk down to the end of the street and back, half a block, and half a quarter of a block actually, and so an eighth of a block. And so you now, I mean, you can go out and cruise on 3-4 miles pretty well, and you're doing yoga. But so then all of a sudden, and so you've recovered well. You still probably don't have the same amount of strength, I'm guessing. What do you think?
No,
pre-pregnancy.
It's mostly like weird balance stuff, just because the weight gain has been so different then. Like my body's still not to the same shape it was before, and so but obviously, like there's that when you're become a belly.
Your shape changes.
Yeah. So like doing yoga and stuff like that, the strength feels like it's different in different places. So like I've gained strength in places more so than I had before, and other places not as much. Yeah. So like my arms have like almost no muscle in them still. Yeah. But other than that,
So coming up now, you have 3 days where it's like, okay, what is this? Yeah. So what is that? Does it freak you out? Are you concerned? I mean, obviously, you started this off by saying God is ruling and reigning. Yeah. And we know that because the scriptures say all authority has been given, handed over from the Father to the Son to Jesus, and so he literally all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to Jesus. Yeah. So that's what you mean by you're good. However, there's still brokenness that we're dealing with, right?
So here's the thing too, like another reason I say that is because God designed it. Like his design is so incredible that even broken in sin, like my body, even though it was literally getting absolutely no nutrition for those few weeks, the baby was still healthy. The baby was still okay. Yeah. And I was actually still healthy and okay too. Like, believe it or not. Like, that sounds crazy, but I was as well. And my spirit was getting even healthier because God was just ministering me in so many ways during that period of time.
And we'll pick up on that next time we get together and chat, because that's really fascinating. It's a really huge part of your awakening, right? Your ability to start putting your hope and trust in him, and a revelation really that you weren't putting your hope and trust in him. I mean, obviously, despite the, his design of how babies should happen, clearly you weren't following his design there, at least how it's been revealed in the scriptures. That's what we believe. But there was more to it even. It went deeper than that. Correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we'll pick up there.
Cool.
When we get another chance. Awesome. And I thought this was lovely. So thanks a lot. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, totally. Feeling provoked, angered, encouraged, inspired by what you heard? Don't keep it to yourself. Comment below. Put your supportive beliefs into action by clicking all the clicky stuff. Lastly, gather with those around you and remind one another what Jesus has done, is doing, and will do.